Thank you, Maureen, and thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. First of all, I was a board member of this club for many years, so it's particularly nice when I get an opportunity to come back and to address the members of this board. My friends are in the audience, and I'm very, very grateful to have this opportunity. And I'd like to also say thank you to Matt DiStefano, the district leader here in this district, and also to Councilmember Helen Sears, who served this community for a very long period of time. Thank you for that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm running for the New York City Council because I believe that it's time for a change. I have been a person who has been totally committed to this community over the last 17 to 20 years. I believe that it's time for a change because we need to have leadership in this community that is responsive to the needs to the people that live in this community. I have a plan to create jobs. I have a plan to make better schools. I have a plan to create a greener ecology. I have a plan, ladies and gentlemen, for many, many issues that are important to this committee. I didn't start out with a silver spoon in my mouth. For me, life was a little bit difficult when I started. And my mother is here tonight as well. And she can tell you what life was like for us when I was growing up. Okay, I came from a family of 5 children, and my father became ill. And when my father became ill in the early 1970s, women were not in the workforce. And it was very difficult for women to even have a job in those days. But when my father became ill, my family became immediately impoverished. And so I knew at that moment what it was like to have to struggle to get things in life. But my mother succeeded, and she brought 5 kids up, and I think she brought all of them up very, very well. So thank you for being here with me tonight. But even in that difficulty in terms of my life, the other thing that caused me a lot of difficulty was dealing with being gay. And ladies and gentlemen, I had a very bad struggle with that as well, a very difficult struggle with that. Many of you already know that I came out as an openly gay teacher in 1992 in a school district, one of the most conservative school districts in the city of New York. Many of you, Sybil, Judy, you were here with me when that all happened. We fought against the powers of bigotry, and we fought for change. We worked on the Cultural Awareness Council, and we did things to ensure that this community did not allow that type of bigotry to exist. And so that was one of the first things that I did in terms of reaching out and making sure that everyone had their civil rights, that everyone in this community was respected as a human being. But I didn't stop there. My passion really is as an educator. I'm a New York City public school teacher, and I've been a New York City public school teacher for 25 years. For the last, and even longer than that have I been in education, because I was the assistant director of a daycare center on 125th Street and Amsterdam Avenue in Harlem for 6.5 years. So I've spent 31.5 years with kids on a daily basis, 24/7, working with kids. I know firsthand what kids need. But I just want to go back to my story about why I came out as an openly gay teacher. I believe that what we needed to do as LGBT people was to stand up and to define ourselves. And I know in a community as diverse as this community, that's a very, very important thing. Because this is not really just one community. This is many communities. And many different types of communities make up the broader community. And I'm someone who has bridged those communities. I have a working relationship with almost all of the communities here in this district. I have a good working relationship with the South Asian community. I have a good working relationship with the Latino community. In fact, I'm very proud to have been endorsed by Assemblyman Jose Peralta and by City Council member Julissa Ferreras as well, and many other Latino leaders throughout the community. But what I've done is that I've always tried to focus on bringing people together. I've done film series at the Jewish Center of Jackson Heights, where I brought people together just recently to see the film Divided We Fall, which was about the Sikh experience in America post 9/11. We had over 200 people that came to the showing of that film. And it's probably the only place in the world that something like that could happen, where you have a gay organization sponsoring a film about South Asian and Muslim people in a Jewish synagogue, and it was just great. And people dialogue. And I think I really possess a strong ability to be able to do that. Let me give you another example of what it is that I mean. I founded the New Visions Democratic Club. That club came about because when they created a new assembly district, the 39th Assembly District. Each district leader is allowed to create their own official club. And one of the first things that we did in that club was to make sure that everybody was welcome in that club. And we changed the constitution of the New Visions Democratic Club to ensure that anyone who comes in the door, who subscribes to the principles of the Democratic Party, can be a member of that club, regardless of your immigration status. And that was the first time that a club I can think of anywhere throughout the country that I'm aware of has done something like that. And that has been a welcoming hand to people in the community. And that's why if you come to my club, I think it is very reflective of the diversity of the community. I was there when this community needed a senior center. I worked together with Ed Cedarbaum to create Sage Queens. I was here in this community when this community needed a youth services program. I took $10,000 that I was able to get from Claire Shulman, and I was able to start a youth services program that still today is in operation serving the youth of the community. I've been there when it was necessary to stand up and fight the powers that be. In fact, I'm the only progressive voice in this race, the only person who has a record of accomplishments, the only person who holds true to his progressive values.